Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about art school and just like anything and everything art school related. So who goes to art school? RISD has like 500 people per grade. Whoever the best artist in your high school was, imagine like 500 of them all in the same place. How do people dress in art school? Everybody in art school kind of dresses like a combination of like thrift store meets like trash can meets like paint shop. It's kind of like Doc Martens, jeans that are like have holes in them or look old and cool, and then like thrifted shirts that have like cuts and like holes. So when I got to art school, I was obsessed with being a designer. I had picked out my clothes meticulously. I decided I was going to wear all blue. All baby blue and like deep blue like design, right? Like so I got these like primary color blue pants. I had like blue cute little like loafers that went with everything. And like white with like striped blue shirts, like everything was so cute, like so posh, like loved it. Walk into class on the first day, and my drawing instructor was like, "You're not gonna wear that for class, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "That is gonna get so dirty. You need to get some drawing clothes." Let's see, what is the like gender and sexuality breakdown in art school? So RISD is 70% female and 30% male. And of the 30% male, I would say like maybe half of the guys at RISD are gay. So if you're a girl who like really wants to have a boyfriend and stuff, think twice before going to art school. I noticed when I transferred that immediately like a lot of guys like wanted to date me, and I was like, what? Like, because I did not date anyone my freshman or sophomore year of school. Yeah, boys. That's like a real thing. So how to be popular in art school. That is kind of like the number one thing I feel like people are concerned with when they arrive on campus is like everyone's forming cliques and like how do you find your clique and like how do you find your friends and stuff. And the first thing that you should know is if you want to be like part of the popular kids in art school, you're not going to get there unless you own a pack of cigarettes. And that's just like number one. Like, I just remember going on runs in the morning when I got to RISD, and, like, all the cool kids were, like, smoking cigarettes before class, and, like, yada yada. Oh my god, good story. So I had a foundation section with this one girl who was my friend, and we were, like, on the steps, and she was, like, really cool, and I, like, really wasn't cool. And we were just smoking a cigarette together, and she was like, "You know what, Ingrid? Like, you're actually so much cooler than you seem." And I was like, what? Yeah. The number one myth about art school is fun. Art school is not fun. It is actually like disturbingly difficult. Like as a person who was extremely challenged in high school and like has a high tolerance for like work and like etc., I was so stressed all the time. Like, you have so much work, and everybody spends 100% of their time on their work. So you're in this, like, pressure cooker pool to create, like, the best thing that the professor has never seen before in 30 years, and that all your peers will think is amazing, and you have, like, a week to do it. So, like, I used to spend, like, 3 months on a painting in high school. Nope. Now your deadline is, like, 4 days, and you have 3 classes. What are the craziest professors that I had? OMG. This one hits home. Okay, I'm going to talk about 2 professors in particular. One is Tom Mills. So Tom Mills is like this super fat, like super adorable, wonderful human. He had a pet squirrel named Ninotchka, and he would talk about her all the time. He would talk about how like every day he would feed Ninotchka and she would inspire his work, and like he would talk about his wife who he met in art school. And he was like the most dramatic professor. Either he loved it or he hated it. If it looked like his own drawings, it was good. If it didn't, he didn't like it. He didn't like comic work or anything outside of like the old-fashioned like drawing from life kind of stuff. I really respected him. He was a great professor. He was totally crazy. He also had a disease called multiple sclerosis, and his doctors would always tell him, you have to stop teaching, you're not well, but he would always keep teaching, and that's like what I love about the professors in art school. Like, the good ones are so passionate, and they're like totally dedicated to their work, and he would always draw and always teach anyway. So my other crazy professor, Gareth Jones, he like had a class where the entire class was about making things out of paper. So he would give us this like Bristol paper, and he would be like, go and make shapes. So every week our assignment was to come back with a bunch of like new shapes made of Bristol paper and glue. And the ones that he liked, he would keep. Apparently his house is like filled with Bristol paper shapes that his students have made or that he has made. He said he was working on a book that redefined the cube. So he's inventing a new type of cube, apparently. And I adored him, honestly. He was like probably my favorite professor at art school. He also gave me nightmares. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night dreaming that I had bad critiques in Garrett's class. What is the criteria for good work? That's a really good one. Good work in art school. I think just working really hard. That sounds really dumb, but you kind of realize that the people who spend the most time on their projects just kind of have the best projects. And it really is different from liberal art school, though. Like, I feel like I could have done so much better in liberal art school if I hadn't gone to art school, because art school really trains you to think, like, so outside the box. Like, there just are no rules. Like, if your professor says, like, make something out of cardboard, like, you have to bring something, like, amazing next week made out of cardboard. Or your professor might say, like, gravity is your prompt, or like there's just like no rules in art school. So like it's the opposite of liberal art school, where like in liberal art school you get like a syllabus or like a criteria, a specification, and you have to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like perfectly, like to the T, right? And in art school, like if you break the rules but you do it well, that's like the ultimate project. Like if your teacher said like do X and you do like Z but it's better than X, that's kind of the sweet spot of like amazing work. Literally, we got like a physical crustacean, and the assignment was to do like 25 drawings of a crustacean. And so you really have to think, like, what is a drawing? Like, can I dip the crustacean in paint and paint with the crustacean? What is a crustacean? Like, should I be looking at this physical crustacean? Are there other types of crustaceans? What is paint? What is a medium? What is paper? Like, could we use cardboard instead of regular paper? Can you use grass to make a painting of a crustacean? Like, it's just like, you will question everything that you knew. Like, you'll go into RISD thinking like, oh my god, I'm so good at like oil painting. And then like everything will just be like cracked. I've had professors, not of my work, but I've had professors or I've seen professors rip people's work in half and throw it out. I've had professors look at something and be like, and just like turn it upside down. And then be like, yeah, that's better. There's a huge division in art school between the art kids and the design kids. Like, at least at RISD. So the art kids are like really abstract, like everything they wear is like thrifted, like they all want to get MFAs, like everything is like a theoretical liberal ideation. And like everybody like knows art history really well and like just really abstract and stuff. And then the design kids are all like corporate and more like gonna get jobs and like making good design work, and everything is more organized and like it's just different. There's just like a design, and like the design kids are seen as like the sellouts and the art kids are seen as like the purists. And I honestly was so disturbed by this division that I just like couldn't, because I was kind of abstract and I was also kind of applied, so I just didn't really know what to do. I ended up doing a lot of fashion, which was kind of like both, but it just didn't really work out for me. I wish I could have done painting and industrial design, because I would have loved that. Like, I would have loved to do a little bit of application, a little bit of like abstract work, but you know, it is what it is. Ooh, here's a funny one. So I was scared to go to the cafeteria in anything other than jeans, because like I'm from the Midwest and we dress real comfy in the Midwest, like Uggs, sweatpants, like sweatshirts, like anything goes, leggings. And every time I would go to the cafeteria wearing like leggings or wearing like sweatpants, I felt like everyone was looking at me like, oh my god, like get your shit together, like wear something cool, like. And so I would literally change into jeans just to go to the cafeteria. Every single time I went to the cafeteria. Yep. Do people sleep at RISD? Like, yes. Like, not during finals, but like, yes. Generally, yeah, we do sleep. We did. But during finals week, I think I pulled like 3 all-nighters in a row because of art school, which is really painful. Like, by the 3rd all-nighter, you're like shaking, you're like, just need food, like, everything's like weird. Oh, the food in art school is really, really good. RISD food was like totally awesome for vegetarians and vegans. Like, I was vegan the whole time I was at RISD. They always had soy milk, they always had tofu, they always had like all these really good vegetarian options, so I could speak really highly of the food at RISD. Oh, this is a good one to close, maybe. Artist Ball is like this giant party that RISD has every year, and basically everyone just dresses up in crazy-ass costumes and goes to Artist Ball, and it's like a free-for-all art freak event with like the craziest makeup, the craziest costumes, like everybody's just like partying so hard, and it really is like a time when RISD shines, because like generally, yes, people do dress weird at RISD. Like anytime that you walk around on campus, there's going to be people with like face paint or like weird hats or like thrifted things that just don't match or do match or are cool or are weird looking. So yeah, but Artist Ball is just like the full-fledged version, and it's like an annual party at RISD. Let's see. How to make friends in art school. I actually like don't have the answer to that. I only have one friend from RISD that I still talk to all the time, and he's a great friend. Shout out Noah Pika. But he's like my only friend that I still talk to from RISD. Well, regularly. I still have some friends. But how did I meet Noah? Actually, his desk was right next to mine in an apparel studio, and we just like hit it off. Like, I actually was spending a lot of time running the entrepreneurship club, so I never had time to do my homework. So I would always ask him, what's going on? Like, help me, I'm really behind. And then we just clicked and became like BFF. And we would like, oh my god, it got to the point like you're in studio literally all the time. So like it got to the point with me and Noah where like we would have conversations that no one else would understand because we knew each other so well, and we had like deep psychological words for like all these different concepts because we would just talk 24/7. And it got really bad at one point. But yeah, biffles, that's how I met my best friend, is just not doing my homework, I guess. Everybody in art school is like a little bit like dirty, at least like in some way. Either they just like pulled an all-nighter, so they like literally need to shower, or they like just did something really dirty, like with charcoal, so they have charcoal over their face and their hands and their shoes, and yeah. So. Oh, except for the ID kids though, because they always look really clean for some reason. They don't wear like Doc Martens as much. They wear more like boots, like nice boots, like a little more preppy, with like maybe like a button-down shirt. Because ID's kind of clean. Like you just go into shop and you like cut things up and like solder it and like make it look really good and stuff. And ID's like a little more pre-professional. So those kids kind of look like they got 8 hours of sleep and also finished all their work during their shop hours. So what would be like my ideal education? I think every college should have a foundation year. Art school has this really cool thing called foundation. And it's basically like everybody in the whole school has to do it. There's 3 required classes. It's just 1 year, so it's your freshman year. And it really just like expands your brain and gets you thinking like way outside the box. Like it kind of like puts 20 people in a room that's completely randomly chosen. So it's not like only the industrial design kids or only the fashion kids. It's everybody in a classroom. And you really learn from your peers, and like their work informs your thinking. And art school is kind of like a peer-based environment. Like your professor guides the work and guides the approach to school, but you learn the most from just like observing your classmates and just getting the most out of what they're doing and like copying and stealing and observing, and yeah, that's where you're getting like so much of your education from. And I think like even liberal arts school should have a foundation year. Like why not? Even if it was like writing based or like whatever, like just mix everyone in a pot, get them to learn from each other, give them abstract assignments where they have to think outside the box and like really question like everything that they're thinking about. And then like from that transitioning into like normal college, I feel like would be like the killer educational combination. Should you go to art school? Do you want to go to art school? Like I like would recommend it. I didn't graduate from RISD just because I couldn't figure out what the heck I was doing. Like I was kind of doing apparel, kind of doing architecture, like kind of doing IB, kind of doing entrepreneurship. I like never really figured out what I was doing in college, to be honest. But I did enjoy studying like 20 different things. So I think if you know that you're passionate about art and design and that's all you want to do and you have no other interest, go to art school. Because my thing was like by sophomore year it became kind of limiting. Like I really wanted to learn computer science. And art school is not good for people who want to learn like a diverse range of things. But if you're like totally committed to art and design, do it. Because you can't get art school quality design teaching anywhere other than art school. Like, RISD's design programs are so much better than, like, any Ivy League design program. So, if you're dedicated to art and design, go to art school. So, yeah, that's what I've got for you guys today on art school. Hit me in the comments if you have more questions. Yeah. And if you know anyone who wants to go to art school, tell them to watch this video. And I hope that you learned something and hit the subscribe button. See you later.